Hello and welcome to another Warcraft guide. This time it's going to be about farming timeless coins on the Isle. Now there's a few different ways of doing this, and this guide mainly focuses on farming them off mobs, but I will also include at the end a section about the other methods in which you can get them. Now first of all, if you have a legendary cloak, then the absolute best way to get them is if you have a well-geared group, like a farming group, in the Ordon Sanctuary. Now these mobs give 20 to 25 rep with Xiaohao, and they drop a nice amount of timeless coins. I've also found this area to be far less busy and cluttered than other places like the Blazing Way and Firewalker Ruins. And honestly, finding a place that isn't cluttered is pretty much the main battle when it comes to getting these coins. Now another thing is that a group that has the sort of gear that people with the legendary cloak would have would also be able to farm at the very concentrated part to the north of the Blazing Way. However, the rep and coin gains may not be as much. The Ordon Sanctuary really is fantastic. There's plenty of mobs, they're quite dense, and there's not as much competition as there is in a lot of the other places. Now, let's talk about people who do not have the legendary cloak. Well, you're probably still best to farm at the Firewalker Ruins if you have a group. These have a decent mob density and a good respawn rate. The thing is, you really do need a group though, because these mobs are picked up very quickly by people, so if you want enough of them to be tagged for you to get the rep and coins that you want, they absolutely just need to be in a group to get as many people and as much coverage as you can. Now, a group like this that's well geared could also go to the Blazing Way and kill berserkers, and if they're very well geared and competent, they could go to the very high density area. However, you're probably fine in the Firewalker Ruins. Just get a big group as possible, get people to focus on tagging mobs. I know this sounds really dickish, but the most important thing, it's not killing them, it's tagging them. You have 5 people, so they're not going to kill you, but you just need to tag them as quickly as you can. And that's really half the battle to getting coins. Now let's talk about solo. So if you're doing this solo, then really it just depends on the time of day and player density. If you're at off-peak time, I would recommend the Firewalker Ruins as being the best, so if it's the middle of the night, that's probably good. Now other than that, you may find that the Gulp Frog area or the Redstone Run work well. However, it very much depends on the player population, and honestly it may just be better to get a group. Maybe if it's really late at night and you just want to be in your own, Gulp Frogs work, Redstone Run works. The Turtle Beach can work, but I just didn't find the coin gains to be that much. Also because it's near to the Alliance and Horde bases and very near to the Celestial Court. I just find like there's so many of those things die, it's really hard to get a good run of kills. Now let's talk about other methods of getting coins. So first there are the daily and weekly quests, which are pretty easy and really self-explanatory. Honestly, if you're reading this guide, you probably know what they are. Now second, there is bosses like Dreadship and Evermaw. These drop from 500 to 1,500 coins each, so killing these when they're up is absolutely worth it. Absolutely great source of coins. Now of course there's also chests, and there's more for that in my main guide. So yeah, go check that out. And finally there's the Zarham Altogether event that's located in the cave, which I'll show up a map of because I don't remember the name of the cave. And if you imagine it as being like a kind of a shit version of the loot run scenario from patch 5.2, you basically go through, avoid the things, pick up the chests, and you get some coins in that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, if you want, say, 100,000 coins for that mount, you're really best just chip away at it over a month or two, rather than just go full retard and try to get it all at once, because you'll just burn yourself out, to be honest. But anyway, that's it for this guide. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.